Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for Dadbod to Daddy training, and today was back in bicep day. So I started the day off with weighted pull-ups, and I decided to go a little heavier on these, let the reps go a little lower. I did 9 reps with 25 first, and I strapped on a 45 and did a couple of 6-rep sets. So what I'm doing with some of the back, because I'm doing, again, all the RDLs and stuff on my posterior chain day, I feel like my back actually gets a lot of work. My lats are probably my best body part, but some people say maybe calves. Maybe they're tied. So I feel like at this point on my back day, 6 really hard, high quality sets to where my lats get worked is what I need to do. And then after that, I'm pretty much focusing on biceps, because my biceps are, quite frankly, a weaker muscle group for me, right, compared to, say, my lats. So again, just train them hard, get a little bit of good training response, and then get over to biceps. It's pretty much the name of the game here. So like I said, I did 3 sets of pull-ups. I do these with a pretty wide grip, and I'm not gonna comment on the people who never like the way I train my back. Well, let's see yours. Very, very straightforward, isn't it? So I want people to remember when I do some of these movements, I am doing them to build muscle. So all my lat exercises are there to build my lats. They're not to impress you with whatever technique or form I'm using. They're there to get them bigger. And I have big lats, so clearly it works. All right, over to the rows. I did seal rows today, mainly because, again, I want my lower back to not be too fatigued when I go into squats the next day. I need to start increasing my squat volume, and so I want my low back recovered. So again, this fits the bill. It's not working the low back. It works my back from a different angle. So we're hitting lats, traps, rear delts, all of that stuff very effectively here. No way to cheat. So even 185 pounds is really heavy on these. I'm getting like 8 or 9 reps and then pretty much reaching failure. So I can't do another rep at that point. So for those curious, yeah, that's me actually failing. When you see that pause at the bottom, that's me trying to contract and do another rep from the stretch, and I can't move the weight. So again, the main key on these, just like on the pull-ups, is the stretch is really what builds lats. That's the most important thing. I'm not saying the contraction position doesn't matter at all. I think particularly rowing, it's important to row to your chest for that purpose, just for traps and other stuff. But your lats are always going to be that stretch position. All right, curls. I only changed to 1 curl today, and I just increased weight on the main 2. I feel like I'm getting the most benefit out of these really strict curls and then the preacher curls. I feel like they're bringing the most to the table. I feel like my biceps are getting bigger and stronger. Because I'm focusing on arms a lot more now. So I feel like these really straight movements are improving. So I went up a little bit on these to 75 pounds from 65, and managed to get 10 reps. I think I only got like 9 on the 3rd set. So this is coming along, because keeping in mind, when I started doing really strict like this and going all the way up to the face, no body movement, again, I had to drop down to 65 pounds. But now I'm up a little bit, but again, keep in mind these are super strict. And I had someone ask me, why are you using such a lightweight? It's because this is a really strict movement. I have long arms, I have long levers. You guys have seen me I used to do cheat curls with 185 pounds, right, versus the 75 pounds, and I feel like I have better biceps now. So what should I be doing? I should be doing this. So again, what I do on these, it is a full range of motion. I lock out at the bottom, I come up to the face so that we have that little bit of shoulder extension involved, which is part of the function of the long head. And in this workout, I worked all the functions of the bicep. It's because, again, if I want more arm development, and you're like me, I've got a big torso in terms of my structure, so it makes things like my back grow really easy. But I have long arms, so it puts me at a point where I need more arm to make them look big. So I struggle to look proportionate. So again, really focusing hard on this arm stuff is the key to doing that. So these sets are pretty well to failure. All of my bicep work was to failure. Even the pull-ups were right there also, but the rows definitely, all the curls to failure. So we did 9 high-quality sets today total. So 3 sets of these, then you see me try to do another rep, and I can't. So again, when I know that I'm getting really close to failure, I try to really squeeze hard that last rep, slow the eccentric down, and then I know I'm going to miss the next rep already. because I've put so much effort into that rep that I know I won't have anything left. I still try it, but it doesn't move. All right, preacher curls, I think I got about 9 on this first set, and then it dropped down to 8 for the next 2 and reached failure on all of these. So in this, I increased the weight, right? Instead of adding that little bit of change plates, I went and put a 25 on each side of this. This is the heaviest weight I've tried to preacher curl, by the way. And yes, I like this really close grip because I feel like it gives the best stretch. It also allows me to grip that part with less pronation of the wrist, that part of the easy curl bar. So again, these felt really good. Absolutely felt the lower biceps light up. But as you guys can see, I'm struggling those last reps. Like you can see the rep is slowing way down on the last 1 to 2 reps. I'm having to fight to bring it up and then lower it under control, and then it gets stuck at the bottom, and that's failure. So all 3 sets of these are to failure, and I almost felt like I couldn't do anything else for biceps after these. My biceps were so fatigued from this. I was scared I wasn't going to be able to do any sort of curls, but I still managed to do some lightweight dumbbell curls after these 3 sets. But yeah, right there, when I know I'm struggling to get the last rep, I lower it under control. And in so doing that, and I'm going to leave that AC going. It's hot in here. So my AC kicks on, we'll just deal with the sound. But in so doing that, it means that I'm pretty much absolutely failing on the next rep, right? Because if I'm fighting that hard and then I lower it under control, that's everything. And sure enough, we see it every time. The last set, same thing. So trying to, move it fairly quick on the concentric, then the eccentrics, lowering it under control, and then when it gets hard, we do the best we can right there. Again, struggling, lower it under control, and I've reached failure. I can't do another rep. It just sticks at the bottom. And again, the same thing on these. We don't go too heavy. It's all about control, no cheating. You don't want to tear biceps on those. After that, I'm like, look, let's work all the functions of the bicep. Let's work that supination and pronation, which is a minor function of the bicep. It is debatable if it causes any muscle growth or not, by the way. Subject to debate. We know the extension of the shoulder does. And I've had people come in and comment and argue, well, no, it absolutely does. Okay, it is again a major function of the bicep. Don't argue here, guys, or learn your physiology. Now, we could argue about this part, but I feel like it's a little bit of extra forearm work. So again, that full function of the bicep here, same thing, because I'm bringing it up a little bit closer to the face as best that I can. I'm doing these sets right there to failure also. But again, because I've done all that other bicep work, I used to be able to do heavier on these, right? But at this far into the workout, I can't, like 10 to 12 reps, and I am failing on this exercise with this weight, with only 28 pounds. But it's more than I do on the incline curls. So why this over the incline curl? I like incline curls. They do a lot. I feel like for me, I am not feeling the biceps quite as much as I do on this movement, and I'm adding another unique function. And I'm not worried about getting that crazy lengthened position because I'm getting it from the preacher curl. So totally acceptable, So 3 sets of this to finish off, so it's 9 hard sets for biceps if we don't count the pull-ups or rows, all to failure. And then I do 1 set of hanging leg raises. You guys know, I've discussed it every vlog. On the bicep days, I feel like I can only do 1 set because my grip is just dying. All this pulling and then all the bicep work, the bicep pump makes it extremely hard to hold onto the bar. So I did 1 set for my abs, and then we called it a day. Most of the other days I've been doing 2. Occasionally I do 3. But again, we're still in that close to 10 set per week range, so perfectly fine. I'll live with it. Very happy with today's workout, so I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.